And now let us come together for our prayer for humanity. Just coming into that lovely warm heart center, where we can truly send forth the light. So let us remember before God the great need of all humankind, and that we may pray to God. We make quiet the busy mind of every day. Let us open our hearts to the Father, Mother, God, and to Christ the Son, to the Holy Trinity of wisdom, love, and power. In the holy name of Christ, by the Christ light, in the hearts of all people, we call upon the great angels of Christ. We feel their presence and their power, and we attune ourselves to the prayers of all men and women of good will. Being thus prepared and ready before God, with all the will of our minds, with all the love of our deepest hearts, we send forth the light. We send it forth as a great star of light, a blazing star, overcoming, withstanding, overcoming all evil, triumphant over darkness and death, a star of the Christ light. By all the power of Christ within our hearts, we send forth the light to the world. We hold our beautiful planet in the healing light of the Christ star. And we hold within this healing ray the soil, the waters of the earth and the air, and all of nature, and especially the human and the animal kingdoms. Now we hold in the heart of the Christ star the soul of the Americas, the soul of the people of the Americas. May the light of Christ shine through the hearts and the minds of all the people of the Americas to bring healing to mankind. And within them, a deep reverence for all of life. And now let us hold anyone known to us personally who is in need of particular help and healing. Just let us see them shining in the light, enfolded, uplifted, and supported in this beautiful healing radiance. And we thank Thee, Lord, for Your presence and the blessing of Your healing grace upon these, Your family. Amen. 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 Now for our healing circle. Again, just focusing on that beautiful light within us all. You know, if we managed to focus on it all the time, what a different world we would live in. So we open our hearts to the Christ power, wisdom, and love, as together we call upon the angels of healing to draw close. We come into the soft radiance of this love, as we focus and hold the healing light of the Christ star over all those who are working for the light, all those who see beyond the present earthly circumstance towards the great refinement of the human race, all the possibilities that each one has to grow. We hold the pure, blazing light of the star upon all those who work for the light all over the world. With hearts full of love and gratitude, we give our grateful thanks. Amen. Now, reading was given back in 1958. Denise has chosen. And White Eagle says, "We are speaking from spiritual heights. We bring you all love and peace. We would raise your thoughts, your aspirations to the plane of spirit and to the celestial world, so that you may not only hear with your physical ears in the language of earth, but you will hear with your spiritual inner hearing. Your feelings will be stirred, and you will feel and know that all around you are beings of light, of divine intelligence, who are waiting to use you for the upliftment of this earth. Try to respond, dear children of earth, to their help, their guidance, for the time has come for their message to be given to the earth people. We come to show you a higher way, which, if you will follow, will obliterate all separation, will throw aside, tear down the veil of darkness between you and all of life. And when we say all of life, we mean the life of all creation, every kingdom of nature, animal, human, angelic. Whereas in the past you looked through a glass darkly, when you have entered that spiritual life, you know all things. You know the meaning of the love of God, the brotherhood of all life, and the saving power of Christ the Lord. This means that the illumined beings who are gathered here today, would use you, however small or large the numbers, simply to be a messenger to tell men and women about the way of the Spirit, the power of the Spirit. You all know that within you are two aspects of life, positive and negative, wisdom and ignorance, light and darkness, spirit and body. The body wars with the spirit, particularly the earthly mind, which comes to you in many disguises to try and turn you from your true purpose in life. That purpose is to develop the Son of God within your soul. Our message to you, who enfold you now, those who enfold you now, is therefore this: make use of every channel which you are shown in order to demonstrate spiritual truths. This is not proselytizing, just to show, by example, to bring into operation the ways of the Spirit. Men and women are fundamentally sons and daughters of the living God and must live and act as children of God. We never blame, we do not condemn. We see instead a process of spiritual unfoldment taking place, to strengthen your desire to live by the Spirit and to do your best to interpret the laws of the Spirit to others. Behold, the sower goes forth to sow. Now the seed is given to you here. Sow that seed on the earth, and you will be worthy brethren of the great white light. Never be sidetracked by fear, by doubts sown by the earthly mind, but go out into the world with courage and sow divine truth. We have spoken before about the age of Aquarius, the age of development of the feelings, of the intuition. Development of intuition does not mean to encourage your self-will, mistaking it for intuition. The way to discriminate, the way to understand the true nature of divine intuition, is to rule the lower self and its stormy emotions. Remember the beautiful demonstration which was given by Jesus when the disciples were storm-tossed in the boat in which the Master slept, the boat being the symbol of the soul. They were overcome with terror and cried out, "Master, Master, save us or we will perish." How many of you in your storm-tossed souls, in your unruly emotions, cry out, "Oh my God, help me in my trial"? Those who truly pray feel the incoming of the word of command, "Be still," and the storm subsides. Those who want to develop this sixth sense of true intuition in order to work for the Master must rule their emotions. Unruly emotions are a hindrance to the one who is seeking development of the intuition. The emotions are always symbolized by water. When water is turbulent, you get a false reflection. If the water is calm, clear, and pure, you get perfect reflections from above. So when the soul has trained itself to be still and peaceful, it is then receptive to true impressions, true feelings from the spiritual worlds. The greatest power to help man is heavenly power, God power, and the spirit messengers or angels are sent to you for that purpose. Do not shut them out. Just be calm, be still, do one thing at a time, quietly and tranquilly, and you will make way in your soul for a great inflowing of spiritual power. It will be as the Master who comforted the disciples when they were afraid on the storm-tossed waters. Lack of mental control is actually the greatest hindrance in the service of our Masters. Peace is the achievement of controlled and wisely directed emotion. We would describe here on the central altar of the temple a lovely rose which is opening its petals to the sun. A rose is the symbol of a heart, of the human heart, fragrant with love. You may not often see hearts like this, but we do. We see many human hearts open to us and can inhale the perfume of sweet human love. Give out that same perfume yourselves. Withhold judgment and criticism. You know it's the human way to judge in haste the action of others, but the divine way is to remain quiet and loving. You are divine as well as human, and are here on earth in a school to learn the lesson of divinity. With this symbol in your midst, the rose, be very still, be at peace. At this celestial level of consciousness, you should develop the power to receive truth, the power of feeling and imagination. If you feel the beauty of the heaven worlds, you are receiving divine truth intuitionally. This is how you can discern between God's will and self-will. The disciple leaves all earthly things, mind, body, possessions, desires, to follow him. Leave all and follow me, said Jesus. Having reached this understanding, you can safely rely upon your God-given intuition. It all comes to these few simple words. Be still in love and know that I am God. This is what we of the Spirit would convey to you, earnest students and aspirants on the path of spiritual enlightenment and unfoldment. Remember that we are all spirits, you simply in an earthly body, and we in a different kind. We're all spirits in a body, all with a personality which has to be sweetened, trained, and perfected by the Master Spirit, the Christ. May God bless you all. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Jane, for the reading. This particular reading and teaching spoke to me as being so very helpful to us all from what we've been going through since March of 2020 until now. We've all been going through that new, like a rebirth, a birth, being more in touch with our spiritual selves, growing them day by day as we've moved through this time together. I'd like to start today by rereading those first few lines. We are speaking from spiritual heights. We would raise your thoughts, your aspirations to the plane of spirit, so that you may not only hear with your physical ears in the language of earth, but you will hear with your spiritual healing. You will feel and know that all around you are beings of light, of divine intelligence, who are waiting to use you for the upliftment of earth. Try to respond to their help and their guidance, for the time has come for their message to be given to the earth people. And that message to me is assessing the power of spirit. There probably isn't a single White Eagle teaching that doesn't draw our attention and mention spirit. And that's not surprising, since it's so central to the path that we're following. And in today's reading, there's been a number of points reinforcing this, that you will hear with your spiritual healing. And when you've entered that spiritual life, you will know all things. The messengers who tell us of the way of spirit, the power of spirit, the process of our spiritual unfoldment is taking place. It's strengthening our desire to live by the Spirit and to do your best to interpret the law of spirit to others, making use of every channel in order to bring into operation the ways of spirit. In one of White Eagle's finishing points, we are all spirits in a body, all with a personality which has to be sweetened, trained, and perfected by the Master Spirit, the Christ. Whatever we are, whatever we do, if we are developing our intuition, we are living by the ways of the Spirit, and then we're serving humankind. This is really about treating our fellow humans, our animal kingdoms, our plants, the waters in the sky, with a deep respect. And White Eagle is challenging all of us to be doing our best to interpret the laws of spirit to others. He's saying to others, but not the laws of spirit for others. As we all know, that can be tempting at times, but that would be proselytizing. Rather, we're living to be living the laws of the Spirit ourselves, thereby that inner light and our love for others shines forth. Ultimately, we need to take time, and I think this time, since last March, has afforded us more time to go within, more time to have time for spiritual contemplation, since so many things have moved perhaps out of our lives. And we need to remember that moving closer and closer to accessing spirit and the higher world does take times. So we need to be patient with ourselves. Do not try to hurry things along or to succumb to urgency. Instead, understand that whatever is happening is a necessary part of the process, and know that it's all leading us to where we need to be. We need to remember to work diligently to keep our vibration high. For me, I've tended to keep that TV off as much as possible. That doesn't exactly raise my vibration, and sometimes it can cause anxiety and fear, so keep that dial turned down if you want to. I think it's really helpful if you do. Also, we can do it through good diet, right living, kind words, helpful deeds and actions, prayer and meditation. And we should avoid as much as possible other things too that pull our energies down. The key, I think, through this period and going forward is keeping our spirit strong in mind and body, and try to resist whatever's going on around you that isn't of the highest. We should trust that there is a divine plan at work, and we're all working towards that divine plan. And Buckminster Fuller once said, "You can never change things by fighting existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete." I think maybe we're doing that in the past several months. In other words, rather than reacting to something, we should take the positive step of creating something new. We're all builders together, working for a new model for Earth and for all humanity. And we're now living and acting as we always have been, but perhaps to a greater degree, as children of God. Take time, do not blame, do not condemn, and strengthen your desire to live by Spirit. Try to remember to do one thing at a time, quietly, in tranquility, and you will make way in your soul for a great inflowing of spiritual power. Spiritual power, the power to be spiritual, the power to be kind, supportive and friendly, the power to be loving. And on a very practical level and a very high spiritual level, love is the highest vibrational frequency, and it determines where we end up. So even when we're caught up in a difficult situation, as maybe we've been finding ourselves from time to time, as long as there's love in our heart, we will be carried to a better place. Take time and promise yourself that you'll take time today and every day to link with the Spirit within you, to utilize some symbol of love, such as that beautiful rose on our central altar, to be still and at peace. The goal is to go inside and let the messengers in. Listen for that still, small voice from God. White Eagle says, we need to be trained and perfected. So go inside and listen, for your truth will come. And then, as White Eagle says, sow that seed on earth, and you will be worthy brethren of the light. God bless you as we move forward together as sons and daughters of light, helping our earth grow into a new, beautiful place. Amen. And now, let us come together for our spiritual communion, and let us begin to breathe more deeply, slowly, feeling that beautiful golden light that resides within each one of us, but our temples filled with. And coming into our very presence is the beautiful presence and form of the great healer, Master Jesus, coming right from the higher worlds, right into our temple of light. He brings His beauty, His divine love, and comes around and touches each in the temple and those who may be listening remotely with a ray of light, bringing you sustenance, helping strengthening that beautiful Christ within. So take a moment to feel his touch, perhaps a gentle word he imparts to you. And now in our midst, he brings forth from his heart the beautiful Grail cup filled with his essence, divine light. Take this light right into your very being, knowing that it's touching you exactly where it needs, bringing you strength for your journey, wisdom, guidance. And take a moment now to absorb it right into your innermost being. Before the great healer begins to recede, we see him showing us Mother Earth, and we see that blazing Christ star above it, with rays of golden light pouring into Mother Earth and all her peoples. Let us take a moment and just hold that light, seeing this gentle healing going forth throughout our planet. And now, filled with this divine light, we can feel in spirit there is no separation. Our beings of light, the angels, the masters are always with us. We just need to link in. And now the great healer begins to move from our temple right back into our world of light, as we give our deepest gratitude for this time of spiritual refreshment. Amen. Amen. Amen.